You know, I feel inspired by my trip to Manila. I miss Manila a bit. I miss it. I wish I could have stayed longer, but I know now's not the time. It's a lot. I mean, everything's happening, everything's moving, and that's the best thing. It's back to the route that I know so well, and my river home that I have been inspired by and want to protect from the forces of nature. I spend so many hours in this truck, don't I? This journey is so familiar, but in Tagum, something had changed. They changed the tarpaulin. Ivana's gone. My wife's not going to tell me off for making Ivana jokes anymore because I can't. Amakan. Oh, Amakan. Pilang kontak pilang Amakan.
150 sir.
150 buhaton ano? Mga 15 ka buwak.
15.
Dakan mo mga kuan, dakan mo mga produkto, no?
Oh,
ayo. Unsay kuan, unsay materials ni?
Need kaning tie box ko nilin sir.
Ay tie box.
Oh, tie box.
Tie box lang. I remember this used to just be Amakan. Now there's much more. 150 I can see. There's a lot of supply. There's a lot of supply at the moment. Daddy maigo sa kuan sa pick up. Inumdum ko sa una. Nakabuwak sa una mga gatos siguro. Takan. Oh, Debbie sabi, diretso na sa likod. Remember the time that I really overfilled my... I think it was 75. It wasn't 100, it was 75. This is for Mama Rose, so I'm paying part of my utang with it.
Yesterday, there was sun and there was rain. Beauty in the mundane.
When you look at the terrain, you realise it's very impressive how they widen this to 6 lanes. The first time I came here, this was 2 lanes with some sections of 4 lanes, which randomly ended because I remember the van racing in between the gaps at night, which was slightly scary.
A sparkly shimmer on our skin, restoring everything within.
And I've been enjoying taking the mountain road to Cateel slowly. That trip to Manila's kind of inspired me a little bit on this road to just stop in random places and look at how the land forms and how the road goes, because there's a million different views. Because of course Manila itself is very run-of-the-mill for a lot of people. A lot of people, they live and work there and they get stuck in traffic and it's just every day. And then I go there fresh-headed, like fresh off the boat, plane, and I'm thinking, I like this place, I like this, because you see things differently, you know? So I'm trying to teach myself to do that with places that I always go to, because I don't want to have videos that are exactly the same, because that's boring. Even for me, I produce these things because it makes me feel good. The good thing is, the fish pond is going to be getting on with it. I think the house area is done and they're working on the other parts now. Let's go there because the tides are just right at the moment.
As we go, I wouldn't want it any other way. No, no, no. Dreamy, breezy, we go. Easy, easy on our tiptoes. Under
I look forward to the day I can finally take those down because I won't need them. I might take these slippers off because it's very, very muddy.
Beyond gravel, beyond
So if you remember last time, they were just putting the bamboo in here. So now they've actually piled it and added the earth too. What I like is that it's naturally going to drain this way. They haven't made it all the same height. Or maybe that's just to save on work, but if it is, fair enough. And then this side's back to its former glory, the way it looked before.
The fish pond house is being transformed. From perilously close to slipping into the river, it's now safe from the elements.
So we've got a similar thing here. We've got sacks just at the bottom to hold this up, right? Because this area here, they told me because it's really deep, it keeps failing. They just piled at the bottom, which will stop it slipping. It'll stop holes getting in. And you see the trap owl that's right by the gates here. It's because the wood keeps getting holes in. When it was built, I remember the day it was built. The guy who built it was drunk at 8 o'clock in the morning. So yeah, that happened. So it's not. So all the wood at the side, it's not all lined up correctly. It's not all being put in place correctly. So this trap owl, great discarte solution. That's what I love about these guys, because before I was continuously trying to fix these areas, and it cost a lot. Huh? It's a lot of time. It was a lot, because especially next to here, we used to get a huge hole where the water used to come rushing out, and it wasn't very good, eh? What these guys have done is made a really long-term lasting solution. I've said this before, I'm really so happy with the work these guys have done. It's really, really good. This trap owl solution was one that I've actually had suggested to me by a lot of fish pond owners who've messaged me. They told me use trap owl if it's always getting holes. They called me up last week. They said we need trap owl and nails. I said okay. I said go to Mike at Contessa Hardware, the one where I stole the Lechon head, and I said I'll send him a message. I'll pay him back later. My next solution, of course, here is that this is exposed to the elements, so I'm probably going to have to make maybe another roof out here, or at the very least guttering, but this will be really, really good. This section's always breaking, so I think they've just rebuilt it. I think it's because it's near this big podada tree, which is one of the local native mangroves here, and possibly the roots, something like that. That's the explanation I was given before anyway. The good thing is, with all the new seedlings coming in, plus I've planted my own, that's going to actually strengthen it up. Okay, and then we get to the one that, this is the big Bulwang before. All right, take a look at this. This is no longer going to fall out. This always, for some reason, seems to fall out. I don't know why. Actually, when I got the fish pond in the first place, it was a big hole. We filled it in. I kept having to fill it in. And this is all sloped up. I don't think this is going to fall anymore. I'm really happy with the way they've done this. It's, solid, really solid here. As I said, I hate having to put these signs up, but it's just fact of life. I've got fences around, there is barbed wire around, and it has actually been effective. One day I can take these down, one day. I hate them too. It's just, again, it's just realities, you know? Pagkawal. Pagkawal, no?
Dito na, dito.
Oo. Ligo.
Oo, ligo.
Laom. Oh, lalom. You see, it's kind of submerged a bit under the weight. It's maybe 2 or 3 tons of load. Very, very impressive.
Ano niyan? Bubugas.
Bugas.
Buds.
Humay pa. Pasa pa. I'm so stoked by the future of this. Really, really stoked. Discarte sa cigarillo. Ano yung pinaka the best ko ang discarte? Sakay. Ang importante, hindi ko nahulog sa patay, kumahulog ko sa sumpa. Pagpila ng panis. Manga? Manga. Sige, sige. Ako ka isa pa ako.
Tag 20 din kan mo.
Tag 20.
Para sulit.
He told me tag 20 sulit, so 20 pesos sulit, I thought. And then he piled it like this, and I said, no, that's very good value. Sulit jud. Oh. Good man, creamy. It's nice, really, really good. La. Davao. Fish pond.
How's Davao? Still Davao.
Davao's still Davao. There is still life in Davao.
Nothing changed.
Nothing ever changes.
Davao is Davao.
Yes. Davao is Davao. How's life?
It's okay. It's good. Good.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm unhappy you broke my Amakan. Hello, everyone.
That's because I have utang again, and you can deduct
He will make
the cost
utang
of that.
again. I know.
Because you encourage me to make utang.
No, you're already pala utang.
No, gee. You've made my life easier because
Why?
I don't have to go to your shop tomorrow to pay you. I can just pay you here.
Oh,
My
okay.
utang.
So-
My other utang.
So money is coming.
Now I know.
All of my utang.
Now I know. He has a lot of money. So he will make blowout for everyone. He's very maritis. Especially when you go to Bye-Bye. And you have a friend, Marisol.
Who's Marisol?
Marisol. Marie Siging Sol Sol. You know what Sol Sol?
Kind of, yeah.
Like encouraging you.
Yeah.
Marisol.
At the angle.
Can see your fish. Oh, okay. Oh my God. What? I know yours is bigger than LR. It's only cell phone. I can't afford it yet.
You will soon. Right, what am I doing? Don't know.
No.
I'm paying my other utang.
I will utang from you.
It's nice.
And I will put glass over there. You know that big one.
Yeah.
I put a glass and then there's a little balcony here, a little terrace.
Mama Rose is always building. Mama Rose is the one with lots of money, really.
No, not really. Mama Rose is very poor. He is the rich one because he's very stingy.
He probably put like me.
No, you know, Anselm, I cannot do that. The longest maybe I have to live is like 10 years from now. I'll be very, very old. Why would I keep my money?
Don't say you might die soon. That makes me feel sad. It makes
Of
me
course,
feel sad.
There's a lot of you. I
Here's
can
Mama Rose.
I can picture out like you and the other boy sitting down and crying.
We will. We genuinely. I don't want to talk about death anymore. I talked about that enough.
The next day I had to go back to Davao, so I made one last trip to the pond first.
As I said a couple of videos ago, I often buy them off camera. I often buy Pasalubong off camera. And I do a lot of things off camera because I can normally speak in a full sentence off camera. Yeah, I think next time I'm back, the work will be done. So I just need to go there and basically confirm we're on the same note for what needs doing to finish, which is that the ponds need to hold water. One last look at the ponds before I go back to Davao again. He changed the Cateel because I broke that by being heavy yesterday. Bagasay. You can see it's been piled like a brick wall. It's very cool how they managed to get the cubes in the exact position. Skill and experience. Sana all. This is how this one's going to look as well. It's going to look very similar to the one on the other side. There's like 3 Bulwangs, they call them, 3 really deep holes, big holes, where it keeps collapsing, and that's where you've really got to put the slope support in. Most of it, the mud itself, will stand up to it, but there's always some weak areas. It's where there were big holes in the dike before, and they've been there for years, so. You know, for the first time in a year, I'm really starting to feel good about this place again. I still have little heartbeats here. There's still a little bit of what happened last year left, but it's with time it's on its way out, and with a lot of patience. And the only way I've done that is by rethinking it. If I did what I was doing before here, then there's no way I'd feel so good about this. But I'm looking at this differently now. People around here always ask, when are you going to put Bambos in? What, Bambos tilapia? And I'm thinking to myself, that's not how it's going to be. It's not going to be like that anymore. It's not going to be like the thing that caused me to have a mental breakdown. No, not like that. There's a better future here. I need to get back on the road. I'm doing a lot of travelling around at the moment simply because I've got 2 or 3 jobs on the go at the moment, and it's blowing tiring. It's very, very tiring, but it'll be worth it. It's almost Christmas. Nakuha mo ang pasalubong, gikan Manila. Gikan Manila.
Salamat!
Dili gikan Manila, gikan Purok Manila, San Antonio, Cateel, Davao Oriental. Hi! What I love is, I didn't have a chance to get anything in Manila actually. Even at the airport, I went from check-in, and as I walked in, the gate was open. So yeah, what I love is people appreciate you, whatever you give, anything you give at all, anything at all that you give, they're happy with. I like that. It's good. Not Maarte. Well, some people are Maarte, but they're the people I don't buy Pasalubong for. I'm starting to like this road again, the more I look at it from other places and other angles. It's nice up here, eh?
Life's greatest blessings come when you see it as a journey of understanding different perspectives, and of accepting and enjoying its twists and turns.